The next doctor that we have coming up here is Dr. Tony Smith. He is amazing. His wife, Cheryl, these are amazing human beings as well. It, again, like Scott said earlier, it seems like this business is attracting the best doctors and the best people in the world in healthcare to really represent this incredible phototherapy technology. So Dr. Tony Smith is a chiropractor, and he's down in the California area, I believe, right?
Yep.
So I am going to hand it over to Scott. If you want to kind of let me make sure we're pinning you. Hang on a second.
I'm
I
pinned.
got to make sure. There we go. I see you now, baby.
Hey, Dr. Tony, great to see you. I always
Hey,
love
great to see
hearing
you,
you
Scott.
speak. This is at conventions, all of our events. I mean, just the light and the energy just exudes from you. I love that you're the real deal. You talk about cycling, and obviously you're fit, and I just really appreciate and love that about you, Dr. Tony. So let's get
Thank you.
started. So I want to hear a little bit about who you are, your introduction, and then how you got started with LifeWave X39.
Okay. So yes, I'm a doctor of chiropractic. I've been in practice for 33 years now. And I know you can't tell, right?
Yeah, you look 33. You look 33.
Right. I wish. But anyway,
You do.
so I actually have been in sports medicine for the 33 years. I work in a multidiscipline facility with orthopedic surgeons, podiatry, pain management, general physicians. So I see the full gamut of healthcare. I'm an avid athlete. I played college sports, college football and baseball, and I raced jet skis professionally, and now I'm a cyclist. And I actually am racing for the state championships tomorrow. So so always looking
Let's
and
go.
always pushing the limits. I love being active and pushing the limits like you guys. You guys are active and going. So I always look for things to enhance performance, and also try to be proactive, with my healthcare. And that's what I try to teach. I come from a thing, be proactive. Don't wait for it to happen. Let's get ahead of the game. And so anyway, when I was introduced to X39 by a friend, Mike McCleary, who reached out to me, and he knew I was into health and wellness and everything. And so he said, "Hey, you got to check out these patches." A friend of mine gave them to me, Andre DeVuti. So anyway, I started looking at it, and I'm like, "What is this sticker gonna do for me?" But I'm like, I'm willing. And he said something about stem cells. He said something about light therapy. So it started the wheels turning, because I actually use cold laser, class 4 lasers in our practice to accelerate healing properties, healing benefits in athletes and everything. And so I was very familiar with the benefits of that. And then also, some of the other things he was talking about. And so I started digging into the research, go to thisisit.info.com and look at the studies and things. And so anyway, it started to spark my interest because I was familiar with light and things like that. So I actually started using the patches and just to see, what it was for me, because I didn't really have a lot of health challenges. And so, but I'm always looking to, up the game a little bit. So actually, as I was wearing it over a few weeks, I actually started seeing benefits in my recovery, and things. And I was able to kind of push myself a little further, which enhances my training, and what I'm going to do. So that was, that's exciting. And my dilemma at that point was like, do I really want to tell anybody about this? Because, I want my competitors to learn about this. So, but anyway, so I was wearing it. And one of the funny stories is I actually ran out of them. And it was the day before state championships. I guess it'd be 4 years ago now, almost. And so I called Mike, and I said, "Hey, do you have any more of those patches?" And he's all, "Why?" And I go, "Because I'm seeing some benefits." And he's all, "Yeah, but I'm leaving town." So he goes, "I'll put some out on my porch for you." And I'm like, "Okay, great. I'm leaving like at 5 a.m. to the race. I'll grab some." So I swing by his house. He's, a mile or so from me. I swing by his house, and on his porch, on a Bible, he puts cheater patch. And he leaves a cheater patch out. So that's our joke, is I'm wearing the cheater patch now. And so, but anyway, so that day went well and everything. And so I continued to wear it, and I started sharing it within my practice. And what I really started to see is, all healthcare providers have challenges with patients. Some patients hit plateaus. You just, sometimes you're looking for different avenues to enhance, the recovery or whatever. And so I had a few of those challenging patients. And so I actually gave them some of the X39 or introduced it to them more of as a sample initially, and started to see some of those challenges, some of the breakthroughs, like we like to call them, where people were getting a little bit better and seeing some results. And so, so I actually got some of those people using it consistently, and they continued to progress, improvement and their challenges, improved. And so then I started sharing. I got to share it with a lot of people. Going back, I knew in my practice though that I'm not going to reach the masses just sharing it with my patients. I had to go and put the business hat on too, so that I could actually go out and share it outside the practice to really build something like Dr. Horstmeyer was talking about. As a doctor, when the lights are off and doors are closed, we don't generate income. So on the business side, it was like, I need to get in other people's hands so that they can help spread the word as well. So that's where I went to that avenue, that aspect of it, and started sharing it because, realistically in healthcare, every doctor is looking for ways to increase revenue without increasing overhead. I mean, in this day and age, especially in California, because expenses are going up and reimbursements going down. Every doctor is getting their reimbursements cut. So this is another avenue to bring revenue in and help people along the way. That's very comprehensive. I'll kind of touch on that in a minute, I guess, in the question. Yeah. But anyway, it's very comprehensive, but it allows to kind of make an impact with a lot of people. So.
Dr. Tony, I love that you shared that. We had a doctor's panel just a couple of weeks ago, and that was a common theme too, is, doctors, practitioners are looking for additional streams of revenue. And as a consumer, for Renita and I mean, we want the best doctors. We want you to be in business. So we want you to create revenue. We want your business to be successful. Right. So that you continue to operate and be, one of the shining lights in that industry to continue to help people. I heard you mention also, just the patches helping people that just, aren't sick,
right,
that aren't dealing with like physical challenges or, the health challenges. And as an athlete, you mentioned, of course, as a professional, jet skier, an cyclist, collegiate athlete, how it helped you. We noticed with our boys, with our son, Bo, the breakthrough, as an elite athlete, you get to that place where it's just like, now you're really getting dialed in, nutrition, sleep, recovery. And it's just little tiny things, one extra little advantage can help push you over the top and break through. So we're getting that message.
Little tiny things.
Yeah, every single day from our patients, from our team members. So I'm glad you're seeing that. But outside of the athletes, people that are healthy, and active, how are you finding X39 just helping people that are already healthy? Like what's it doing for them, or what are they looking for?
That's one of the things that I really try to stress within my team and other people. Because our first intention when we get introduced to the X39 is we want to chase down everybody that's sick and hobbling, and we're chasing all the sick people. All the sick people we know we're calling. But there's so many more people out there that want to be active and be ahead of the game, be proactive, and they want to prevent those things. And so there's a whole other market that we need to touch and tap into because they're out there. That's why health and wellness is on the rampage right now. And regenerative wellness and things like that, because people are looking, they want to be active for a longer period of time. And if you can kind of educate, people to be proactive, not reactive, and that's a huge impact. So just understanding. So I was going to go into I get excited about the science. So I'm going to drop a little science, but hopefully it's not over.
Yeah, we love it.
But understand, we do the presentation, we talk about 4,000 genes begin to reset. Okay. And that just blows by everybody. Yeah. Okay. Genes are the coding system that make up proteins in our body that build our body up. So this is like epigenetic or, genetic reprogramming. So when you have dysfunctional programming, the body starts to deteriorate. But when we reset that to a healthier stage, that programming, that coding system is now enhanced. And so we're rebuilding properly and stronger. And that building process over time is what creates longevity and health and wellness. And so when we can reset that and do it before we get sick, it makes a huge impact. And there's people spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for evasive procedures going out to do this epigenetic biohacking reprogramming thing. And we have it in a patch that's $3 a day. oh my gosh, like why?
It's amazing.
Right?
So Dr. Tony,
I want to say one
yeah.
quick thing. Epigenetics, for those of you that have never heard of that word, I learned it about 15, 16 years ago. And epigenetics means above genetics. So you know how we've kind of been told that whole story, like it's in your genes, it's in your genes. Well, quite possibly, but now we have something that's even above our genes, and that's called epigenetics, just like Dr. Tony's talking about. And he's telling you that this patch technology, when you put it on, you don't have to be at the mercy of the old programming, the old cellular programming and system. He's saying we can put this patch on and it's literally giving you an epigenetic advantage. Right, Dr. Tony?
The things that we do to impact our genes, right? And so the fact that we can do it in a non-invasive way, it's affordable and all those things is really special. So you talked about doing something simple over time. We get this question a lot. I'm sure that you have as well. How many days, how many weeks, how many months and years should I wear X39, Dr. Tony?
Well, I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand. If how long do you want those, genes to reprogram and be healthier down the road? When you want to reset the slate of longevity, how long do you want to do that? So the quality. The other thing that talking about is that when you increase the copper peptides, you increase something called superoxide dismutase, SOD. SOD is very powerful antioxidant in our body. That antioxidant neutralizes free radicals in our system, which are pollutants and chemicals that our body is attacked with on a daily basis. So when we increase our own body's production of that SOD, you start to fight things off. You start to neutralize those free radicals, those toxins that are trying to break down your body. So how long do you actually want to fight those things off? Or are you going to give in and let them attack you? So the whole thing is, if you constantly are wearing this and building that immunity, strengthening your core, your outer layer, your body's to fight things off, that shield of armor around you. I mean, how long? When do you take the armor off? When you want?
I'm not taking it off, Dr. Tony.
When do you want to backslide? When do you want to go backwards? I don't know. I mean,
you want to backslide? Yeah.
So
that's funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, when people ask me that question, I'm like, well, you can be here or you can be here. I don't know. You tell me which one you want.
Yeah. I always hear Renita say, of all the things that you could stop doing, right? This is one of the last things you want to stop doing. Yeah. I mean, stop doing the things.
Stop eating fast food. Stop doing all the stuff that's like killing you. Cut the cost elsewhere. Don't take away the thing, like you said, that's like fighting the internal battle to kind of, protect you. Yeah. Like that would be the last thing you want to stop, you think, right?
All right. Yeah. So one of the last questions, Dr. Tony, that we have, and thanks for sharing. Again, we find ourselves, interviewing, you, and we just would love to spend more and more time. I know all of this as a team is just, gleaning all of the information. So thank you so much, sir, for all your time today. You've got a successful practice. It's well diversified, holistic. How do you share X39 as a part of your practice? Talk about that.
So I kind of, it's multifaceted, and I kind of touched on it in the beginning. So in my practice, I'm not a real hard pushy salesman or anything like that. So in my practice, I listen to people. I've taught through this industry, listen more than you talk, which is kind of sometimes different from doctors. They talk more than they listen. But I don't want to offend anybody. But we get caught up in that. We get in a hurry and we start talking, and we don't want to listen. But I really, from this industry, I've learned to listen more, and then I listen to what is the challenge, or where can I input the X39? What is it? How is it going to create a solution for them? And so I wait for them to tell me something. I'm like, hey, I think I have something that might be beneficial for that. So it's about them. It's not about me making a sale. So that's how, and that opens a door for that, really. And the cool thing about, I know Dr. Horstmeyer kind of touched on this, is that I've been in supplements and things for 30 years. But I found when I got introduced to the X39, I used to recommend this for that and this for that and this. And I found myself recommending X39 for almost everything because it was so comprehensive, systemic, worked, throughout the body. So that was a blessing. So I could focus my attention here and put it. So I introduce people initially in my patients as to use the patch, and they become basically like a customer. They become a consumer. Along the way, as I meet with them again and again, I'm like, hey, I see that you're approving. I can see it, in this and that. And, as we're monitoring, how would you like to get those patches for free? And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, refer a couple people and, and I can show you how to get those patches for free. So I kind of backdoor my patients into the business side of it from the referral process. That's how, so that's how I kind of get that way. But on the business side, I've kind of been in this industry for a little while too. I didn't have 30 years of schooling, but I've had about 20 years of network marketing. So, so I kind of did my schooling there. But I learned that you have to build outside the walls. To make the biggest impact and make the biggest footprint is to go outside the walls and look for people that are business minded, not just looking, because I mean, unfortunately, sometimes we hide behind the patch because of the health side of it. There's a whole other people that are looking for opportunity, entrepreneurs for business side of it that will exponentially grow your business at a faster rate, because it's something nobody else has, and it can impact so many people. So I just like everybody that's building a business, am outside of office hours making phone calls to hey, I got something you might be interested in. On the business side, I found something that we could team up together and maybe do some great things. And so I have to pick up the phone just like everybody else and try to build a business outside the walls to create the revenue to help, my family and everybody else keep things going.
Amazing.
Wow.
One of the things that I noticed, Dr. Tony, about you and other doctors, and Renita and I have introduced LifeWave to a lot of practitioners in all fields of medicine and naturopath, is as smart as you are, and you're very intelligent, is your humbleness. We're looking for people that have an open mind, that want to continue to grow, looking for, as you said, solutions that will help their patients. And if I had a practice in the medical, side, it would have to be something simple, right? Because we don't want to take you out of your wheelhouse. That's what you've been trained in, educated in. That's when you become a specialist in that area. But to add something simple that adjunctively comes alongside what you do, that can help your patient, create additional stream of revenue to keep you in business and help you thrive, and give you some flexibility as you build outside the walls so that you can win races like you're going to win tomorrow. So, yeah.
Let's hope. So go for it.
Baby number one. Let's go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dr. Tony, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We really appreciate you.
You're a blessing. We'll see you on the next incentive trip, because I know you and Cheryl earn every one. So we'll see you in the next one.
All right.
Hey, and one thing too, as we interview these incredible doctors today, Renita, is I started thinking about the Unstoppable event in Orlando, August 7th, 8th, and 9th. And we're going to have a doctor's panel at that event. And imagine if you were trying to build a business with LifeWave, and you've got kind of two different ways that you can bring it up to people. You could say, have you heard of LifeWave? I got some patches in the trunk of my car, Or, what if you could say, have you heard of LifeWave? I'm traveling to Orlando, Florida to listen to a doctor's panel, to do my due diligence, to learn about this company. I'm investing in myself in this business to go down and learn why is the world, so interested, getting the innovation, stem cell innovation year of the year awards. I'm traveling. So it just sounds a lot different. If you're taking your business seriously and you've got goals, real goals, you want to make a difference in your family's health, in your family's finances, get to Unstoppable. I can't stop but think about, how valuable these doctor panels are.
And all of these doctors are going to be there. So again, thank you, Dr. Tony. You're just a light. I love listening to you. You got that great big smile. You just ooze health and light. So we certainly appreciate you.